Bonanza Creek Ranch has had 2 people accidentally shot on a movie set by a prop gun. Is it loaded with a real bullet or what? I cannot tell you that.
So you tell me what to do. You tell me what to do. Just we would appreciate that, and then when do you want me to do that? We're gonna probably go right now.
Well, there were 3 firearms that were located on the set within close proximity to the incident.
You have the right to stop questioning at any time or stop questioning for the purpose of consulting a lawyer.
So my only question is, am I being charged with something?
Alec Baldwin was charged, and remember, he faced a jury only for that case to be dismissed in the fatal shooting death of Halyna Hutchins, the film's cinematographer. But the Rust movie shooting is back trending again in true crime. Why? Because the film made its debut in theaters over the weekend.
The only order that exists in this world is the order we impose. If a man loses sight of that, he's got nothing.
The Western, which is also available on streaming platforms, struggled with an estimated opening gross of only $25,000 from 115 theaters. Now, for some perspective, here's a look at the top 5 films over the weekend, according to Deadline. Thunderbolts, the weekend's top-grossing film, also opened with Rust, but grabbed $76 million. Proceeds from the film will help fund the settlement of the wrongful death lawsuit brought by Halyna Hutchins' family. And so we're asking, should Alec Baldwin be more vocal in promoting this movie? Let's bring in our Power Panel guest. Still with me, attorney Tommy Pope, and want to welcome in law enforcement expert Sunny Slaughter, who got her honorary doctorate degree over the weekend. So congratulations, Dr. Slaughter. Welcome on opening statements this morning, our friend. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Julie. Nice to see you too.
So, Sunny, what do you think? You watched the Rush trial with us, gave us so much analysis on this one when it was going. You were there for all of it, the start of it, the dismissal. This is, you know, a film that Alec Baldwin is so closely associated with. Should he be doing more, do you think, to promote the film?
I think he has to do it very uniquely if he wants to. And because there was a death, that, a horrific death and a trial and so much controversy. So I believe in order for him to promote the film, he needs to, or the marketing team needs to come up with a strategy that also informs the public that much of this, the funds will go towards the family of the victim in this particular case. But then it also puts a dark light on it. And people might not want to even support it, but I think they do have to figure out a unique way to let the public know that the funds will support the family, because she had small children.
Right. I love what you just said, Sunny. It's about the optics. You know, there might be people that might say, oh, this is too upsetting to watch this, knowing that the cinematographer died in the process. But then if you kind of flip it and flip the script to be one that's positive, this could help her family, like you said, the kids in the long run. That gives people a reason to go. Tommy, want to get your thoughts on all this, please.
I agree with Sonny. I was thinking, kind of various ways to dig a little deeper. It's almost, if you had at the beginning, how sometimes at the beginning of the movie you'll say in memory of so-and-so, and maybe they do, I don't know, because I haven't seen it and don't really intend to, but if you had something in memory of, and this making of this movie resulted in a tragedy and a life was lost and we want to honor her and blah, 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 and it would be the best if it was coming out of his mouth, because I think the fact that the case was dismissed, some people still think he's culpable and got off on a technicality. And so I think it'd give him a chance kind of for a mea culpa, and to kind of accept that it was a tragedy all the way around. I think it would be helpful to him. I think it would be helpful. I was thinking the flip side, though, if it's been ordered that the proceeds are going to her, he may not want to make the effort because he may think it's not really anything in it for him. And I don't know him personally. I just know exterior, from the outside. But that may be the case, that he doesn't think it's worth the effort.
That's certainly a fair point. Tommy, thank you for that. And you raised a point we want to discuss in the next part of this segment. So the film, just as a refresher, was directed by Joel Souza, who also was hit by that bullet that killed Halyna Hutchins. He was injured but survived, recovered. He is all good to this day, and he told the Hollywood Reporter that filming Rust was just a bad decision. He said it was a bad decision. He talked with the magazine, and he had this to say. He said, quote, "I wish I never wrote the damn movie." You think about the chain of events that started that morning of the shooting. It was bad decision after bad decision was made. And he goes on to talk about Alec Baldwin, saying we are not friends. We're not enemies. There's no relationship. And then when the magazine asked him about watching Baldwin's new reality show, Souza said, quote, or Souza rather said, quote, "I think I was busy hitting myself in the face with a frying pan the night that it aired." All right. Look, we can't blame him for feeling how he feels. He feels the way he feels. He was a victim in all this. Kudos to him for finishing the film under such terrible circumstances. So, Tommy, to your point a moment ago, is Alec Baldwin still being blamed for this? You made a great point. This was a technicality. I mean, you and Sonny know this was the state possibly withheld I can't talk this morning, exculpatory evidence. I just can't speak this Monday. I'm just going to say it because everyone at home, I'm sure, is thinking it. Yeah, they withheld the evidence. Happens to the best of us, right? Thank you, my friends. So they never get to test this ammunition, and the judge is incensed about it, as she should have been, and kicks the case. But as you both know, this doesn't necessarily go to his culpability if he had any. So, is he still kind of getting blamed? Sonny, what do you think?
I think he is still getting blamed, and I think there is enough blame to go around for everyone in this particular film, and how it was handled, how the set was handled, how Hannah Gutierrez was allowed to even be on the set with her lack of experience and expertise. There was not enough oversight, and Alec Baldwin is responsible for the lack of oversight. You don't get to be a celebrity and be famous, and this is your film, this is your work, and then you ignore all of the consequences. So this flashback, this is consequences. In the court system, criminal justice system, he was not guilty because the prosecution did not do all of the things that they needed to do, which is also another flaw in our systems. It does show the fallibility, and that, this is a case that we will still continue to talk about decades later.
You're right, Sonny. Tommy, what do you think? Do you think Alec Baldwin still is getting a little bit of blame in the court of public opinion?
You just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say maybe not in the court of law, but in the court of public opinion. But I recall when we were covering it, how the thread of his tyrannical nature and him demanding and him pushing and pushing and pushing. And, when the young lady was on trial for, being responsible for the gun, that thread was there, that he kind of lorded over everybody. And again, in fairness, we only see him in public. We don't know him personally. Maybe he's totally different, but the impression I get from the director, from everybody, is he was kind of a tyrant. And I think that created the reckless conduct, or at least contributed to the reckless conduct that cost a life.
Right. There were those clips where he's kind of telling people, go, 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 move, 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 whatever he was saying, get it done, get it done. They were under a tight time crunch, apparently. So excellent points from you both.